Hi, I'm Alex Johnston. I'm a staff physical therapist with Ivy. I've been in the Jenkintown office in Northern Philadelphia for about 3 years. I primarily work with orthopedics now after the residency. Geriatric populations, I see maybe about a third that is less than 65, and a lot of that is sports and active adults. So a typical day, I worked a modified schedule through the residency program. So I had two 10-hour days, a 4-hour day with the 4 hours of didactic material in the morning, and then two 8s. I also have two young children at home, and 7 and 2, and finding the right balance between all of that was a challenge. So my clinic at the time was going through a transition. So the clinic schedule on top of the residency schedule was a little extra busy. But by the end of the first quarter, I feel like I hit my stride pretty well. With everything going on, I needed to be very schedule oriented. My wife, my coworkers, my residency mentor, all the parties involved had to be on the same page in terms of what was happening day to day. In terms of that actual day to day, a lot of it was trying to synthesize through the material that either I had read or especially that I had reviewed with my mentor. I really feel like the mentor time really made me step back and think about my practice more than anything else. And so you are, to some degree, going back to what it feels like to be a student, because you're going over things that you think that you were doing well, that it's then pointed out to you that perhaps there might be a different way to go about this or a different way to think about this. And so it makes all the days a little longer. And that's why that schedule is so important, especially when you have additional responsibilities. So for me to maintain my work-life balance and be able to spend time on both the program and my kids, I needed to really be adherent to that schedule. So something that was unique to Ivy's residency program really is the expertise that is brought from HSS, the Hospital for Special Surgery. They are a really remarkable program up at HSS. Their orthopedic program is world class, and to be able to work with the specialists, not only the therapy department, and in many of the body part intensive weekends. So there's body part intensive weekends for cervical and lumbar spine, for the upper extremities, for the lower extremities. And in those intensive weekends, the expertise of the HSS staff, I feel like, is really brought to bear. And I feel like that's something that you really don't get with other programs. Ivy itself has a really supportive network just in themselves. But really, it's that partnership. It's that hands-on with the specialists from HSS, and then you also get to participate in HSS's surgical rounds. So to see what our physician surgeon colleagues are doing in terms of their orthopedic practice, and to see some of the crossover between, they are learning some of the things that we consider rather rudimentary, and we are learning some of the things that they consider rudimentary. So it's good to have that crossing of knowledge base. So advice for somebody considering the residency programs is amusing, because I actually advised a coworker on the OCS program myself recently. And really my advice is two different things. Is number one, I feel that the knowledge and the expertise and the improvement in practice from such a program is absolutely worth it. Before doing the orthopedic residency, I have done Mackenzie, I have done Graston, I have done barefoot training, I've done a number of like single day weekend continuing eds, that sort of thing, and the sheer amount of knowledge gained from the residency was substantial. The additional training that you get from the mentorships and the hands-on weekends is absolutely invaluable, in my opinion. It was so important towards not only learning new techniques, but reviewing old techniques, and just being with other experts. It's remarkable when the lowest common denominator is very high in the room, that the level of conversation is an education that you get when everyone's up on a high level. It's really impressive. On the other hand, I would advise that you know that it's hard work. It is a year of work. It is a year that not only will you be carrying your normal caseload, but you will be doing at least part-time school. And don't go into this thinking that it is a program that you can half-ass, because that's where I was in my first quarter. And I mentioned previously that I had some difficulties in my first quarter. And once I got my head on straight and I established my schedule and I kept with it very much the same way I did with my graduate program, with my PT program, then I did well with it. But I underestimated it initially, and I had to play catch up for a little bit. So just know that you're getting into a serious program, but it will seriously improve you if you persevere in it. So I think that the support, the continuing ed support, the trainings, all the ones offered in person, all the specialist programs, and then even simple things like the MedBridge programs. My clinic got together at one point and we were trying to increase our TMJ population, and we had one guy that had any kind of experience with TMJ whatsoever. And so we got together as a clinic and we utilized the MedBridge programs, and without working at Ivy and having that resource integrated into our system, that we couldn't have done that. So it's the support that you get from Ivy. I think that that makes Ivy a special place to work.